It's happened again. It's happened again. Tottenham Hotspur. It's happened again. For the 21st time in a row, Arsenal has finished above the scum. Tottenham Hotspur has finished third place. Arsenal second place. Whatever, I'll take it. It's another year where we're above the Spurs, and it looked really unlikely this season because they were ahead of us for most of the year. Let's face it, they had a good team. They were winning every game, and I couldn't see Arsenal finishing above Tottenham Hotspur this year. But it happened again. The Spurs choked on the final day of the season and lost to Newcastle. They got thrashed 5-1 to a relegated team. We're safe in the Champions League for next year. It's been an up and down season, but you know what? Second place isn't that bad. We can build on something. I still don't think the team has progressed as much as I'd liked it to, but we finished above the Spurs. So that's always good to see in the end. So everybody, happy St. Totteringhams Day once again. Now on to the other fixtures. So Manchester City faced Swansea City. They needed a point to qualify for the Champions League since Manchester United blew their opportunity that they had against West Ham United to win. It was all in their hands to get into the Champions League spot, but they just blew it. And now Manchester City, they've got that point now, and now they're safely into the Champions League unless Manchester United can beat Bournemouth by a score of 18-0. And I do not think that is going to happen. So the top four is set. Leicester being the champions. Arsenal coming a close second. The first time we finished there since 2005. Tottenham, forever in our shadow. North London is always red. Third place by 1 point. Mind the gap, Tottenham. And fourth place, Manchester City. Looks like we got new fourth place trophies instead of us. So Manchester United, they had to cancel their game actually, which is a bit of a scary kind of incident here, where there was actually a bomb threat at Old Trafford this past weekend on the Super Sunday. So the stadium had to be evacuated, and it was just deemed to be a training device, and it had just been left there from the previous day. I mean, it's something that could have been totally avoided, but it still happened. Once again, no Champions League for Louis van Gaal and the Red Devils. So I don't think they've really progressed that much. They actually haven't progressed at all, to be honest, because they were in the Champions League last year, and now they've gone even lower to the Europa League. So I don't know who's going to come in, but they've got a lot ahead of them. And Fergie's boots still haven't been filled, and it's going to take a lot of time for that to happen. Whoever comes in next has a huge job ahead of them. I still think Moyes should have got a longer chance. They gave up on him way too fast. I mean, like, you can't just expect everything to go back to normal when you bring in a new manager after such a long tenure by Sir Alex Ferguson. But other than that, it's great to see Newcastle fans leave on a high, you know. Unfortunately, they've been relegated. Newcastle is quite a large team and a big fan base, so it'll be sad to see them go next season, but I'm sure they'll be back in the near future, you know. And even Aston Villa was one of the most promising teams 5 to 6 years ago, and they've just fallen out of place. And like now, one of the worst Premier League campaigns ever with 17 points. That is absolutely horrendous. Those are two huge teams that are going to be sent down to the Championship next year, which again, I'm sure those two teams will be back, but it's just horrible to see from there are a lot of passionate fans from those fan bases. It's going to be really hard for them to cope with that, you know. So it'll be a tough year for those fans. The Premier League was a really open league this year, and Leicester City winning the title just tells you that you don't need to look at any other stat or anything that else happened. It's a very open league, and I feel like it will be another open league next year as well. Like, to be honest, I don't think Leicester will challenge again. I know a lot of people will say that, and a lot of people said that this year, but look what happened. I don't think Leicester will challenge again, but I feel like Chelsea and Liverpool might come back into the hunt for the title race next year. So Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool. There's five contenders that I believe can win the Premier League next year. And What a great end to Super Sunday on week 38 this year. It just shows that there's a lot of plots and twists to go other than the Premier League champions. Every year in the Premier League, it seems, and looking forward to more of that next year. Arsenal can be challenging for the title very easily. We need a solid striker and a new defensive midfielder, I feel, and a new center back. I feel if we address those three positions, we can definitely challenge for the title once again. Chelsea new boss Antonio Conte coming in. He's going to bring in a winning pedigree as usual to the Chelsea team, and he will be a force to reckon with in the Premier League. Now, Man City with the hiring of Pep Guardiola, another winning pedigree. He's basically won every single trophy there is except for the Premier League trophy, and he'll be on the hunt for that next year. So Pep Guardiola and Man City are going to bring their big guns blazing next year, and I feel like they'll be serious contenders because they've got a lot of monetary resources that they can spend. So it's going to be really tough for the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, or Arsenal, Liverpool, because they don't really have that much of disposable income to spend on players. I feel that Liverpool has done amazing with the new hire of Jurgen Klopp. He's such a passionate manager, and you can tell by every victory or loss that they endured during the whole season, because you can just tell by his facial reactions, right? Like, if you look at him, he's really into what he does. That's what I'd say. He's only been there for half a season, and he's already taken them to the Europa League final. So I feel like if he's there for a bit more time with a full transfer window, he can do really well for Liverpool. For Tottenham, they were there. They were there this year, but once again, they choked. They choked, which I'm pretty happy to see. But they're right there still, and if they can ride this form into next year with a few additional transfer targets that they address to their team, I feel like they can also challenge for the title like they did this year. Like, they were still there. But with a few additions to each team and the new managers coming in, I feel like that can make a huge impact on the Premier League champions for next year. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. I'm coming up with a new video on the Euro Cup next week, so look out for that, and I'll see you next time.